Good evening everyone, this is Jaimini Astrology channel again. This is going to be the last final part related to Chara Dasha. In this part, in this episode, I'm going to show you how to calculate Chara Dasha, and I'll be using my own chart to do all necessary calculations related to Chara Dasha. Okay, so first step, we'll have to establish the order of Chara Dasha. We can see the Lagna falling into the sign of Tula. What do we know about the Tula Rashi? It belongs to direct group, so the order of Chara Dasha will be direct or clockwise. Okay, so the first Mahadasha obviously will be the Mahadasha of Tula. Okay, then Tula belongs to the group which we described as Savia, so we'll be counting clockwise up to its ruler. Okay, so the ruler of Tula is obviously Shukra. Shukra is found in the 8th house, okay, in the sign of Rishabha. Here's Shukra, so counting clockwise, it gives us 8, then we deduct 1, it will give us 7 years for the first Mahadasha of Tula. Yes? Okay, I hope it is clear. Then we'll be doing the second Mahadasha, which is Mahadasha of Rishika. Okay, so here the special rules apply. Okay, first and foremost, we need to establish which of the co-rulers of Rishika is stronger. Is it Ketu or is it Mars? Okay, so according to the rules, it is clear that Mars Mangala is stronger because it is associated with other grahas. Ketu remain alone in the sign of Makara, so the graha which is associated remain in a conjunction with other planets is stronger. Here Mangala is with Shurya and Shukra, so Mangala is stronger, so we'll be counting up to Mangala, the ruler of the sign of Rishika. We'll be counting clockwise. Why? Because the sign of Rishika is in the first group of those signs called or described as Savia. Yes, so we can see Mars is gone 7 places away from the sign of Rishika. So we've got 7 deducting 1, so it will give us 6 years, okay, for the Mahadasha of Rishika. Okay, we'll changing the color. Then the next Mahadasha which follows here, it is the Mahadasha of Danu. Yeah, Danu also belongs to the group of Rashis described as Savia Rashis, so we'll be counting clockwise again up to its ruler, which is Guru. Guru is found in Kanya. Yeah, 10 places or 10 Rashis away from Danu. So we've got 10 deducting 1, so it gives us 9 years for the Mahadasha of Danu. Okay, then next we're going to the Mahadasha of Makara. Okay, here Makara belongs to the second group which we described as Apsavia, so we'll be counting anti-clockwise up to its ruler. Yeah, the ruler of Makara is obviously Shani. Here it is placed 5 Rashis away from the sign it governs, so we've got 5 deducting 1, and we remain with 4. So the Mahadasha of Makara will consist of 4 years. Okay? Then we'll go further and we'll have the Mahadasha, next Mahadasha of Kumbha. Yeah? Here again the special rules apply. Here we've got 2 co-rulers of Kumbha, which is obviously Rahu and Shani. Okay? And Shani. So we need to establish which Graha, which co-ruler is stronger. Here, according to the rules, we see that Rahu remains alone in the Rashi of Karka. Yeah? But Shani is in conjunction with Guru. So the planet Graha, which is associated, yeah, which is in conjunction with other, is stronger than the Graha remaining on its own or alone in the other Rashi. So we'll be counting up to Shani, because Shani is stronger than Rahu. We'll be also counting anti-clockwise, yeah, because the sign of Kumbha belongs to that second group, which we described as Apsavia. Okay, so we've got 6. Yeah, Shani has moved 6 places away from the sign it rules. Yeah, so we've got 6 deducting 1, so it gives us 5 years for the Mahadasha of Kumbha. Yeah, the next Mahadasha will be that of Mina. Okay, here we go. Mina. What we can see, the owner of Mina is Guru, found 7 places or 7 signs away. Okay, in theory we'll be obviously counting anti-clockwise. Okay, because Mina belongs to the group of Rashis which we described as Apsavia. Okay, so we can see that Guru has traveled 7 Rashis away from the sign it rules. Yeah, so we've got 7 deducting 1, so it gives us 6 years for the Mahadasha of Mina. Correct? Okay. Then we'll move forward. Yeah, we'll have next Mahadasha of Mesha. Okay, Mesha obviously belongs to the first group of Rashis which we described as Savia. Yeah, so we will be counting clockwise up to its ruler. So let's count 1, 2. We found Mangala, the ruler, in the sign of Rishabha. So we've got 2 deducting 1, so it gives us 1 year for the Mahadasha of Mesha. Okay, clear. Then next Mahadasha comes Mahadasha of Rishabha. Okay, and what we can see here, we have found the owner of the sign of Rishabha, which is Shukra, placed in its own sign. In such situation, we assign 12 full years as the length of the Mahadasha. So the Mahadasha of Rishabha will consist of 12 years because the owner of the sign is found in its own sign. Okay, so the Mahadasha of Rishabha will consist of 12 years. Yeah, we're going to the next Mahadasha in order. It will be the Mahadasha of Mithuna, and here similar situation. Buddha, the owner of the sign of Mithuna, is found in its own Rashi. So the situation will be the same as in case of sign of Rishabha. If the ruler of the sign, the owner of the sign, is found in its own Rashi, then we'll assign the full 12 years as the length of that particular Mahadasha. So the Mahadasha of Mithuna will consist of 12 full years. Okay. After the Mahadasha of Mithuna, we'll have the Mahadasha of Karka. Obviously, Karka belongs to the group which we described as Apsavia. Okay, so we'll be counting anti-clockwise. Okay, so we can see counting anti-clockwise that Chandra has traveled 5 rashis away from the sign it rules. Yeah, Chandra is found in Mina Rashi. So we've got 5, yeah, deducting 1, which gives us 4 years remaining for the Mahadasha of Karka. Okay, then we're going to Mahadasha of Simha, obviously. Yeah? Simha belongs to the group of rashis which we described again as Apsavia. Okay, Apsavia, so we'll be counting backwards, yeah, in an indirect way or anti-clockwise. Okay, so counting anti-clockwise, yeah, we found Shurya, yeah, 4 rashis away. Shurya is here, remaining in the sign of Rishabha, along with Mangala and Shukra. So we've got 4 this way, deducting 1, which gives us 3 years, yeah, remaining for the length of the Mahadasha of Simha. Okay, and then we'll come to our very last, okay, Mahadasha, which is the Mahadasha of Kanya. Okay, Kanya also belongs to the group of rashis which we described as Apsavia. So we'll be counting anti-clockwise. Okay, so up to its ruler. So as we can see, Buddha, the ruler of the sign of Kanya, is found in the sign of Mithuna, in Mithuna Rashi. So Buddha traveled 4 rashis away from the sign it governs. So we've got 4 deducting 1, so it gives us 3 years for the length of Mahadasha of Kanya. And this way we've calculated the entire Chara Dasha scheme for that particular horoscope, which belongs obviously to me. Okay, so right now I'm just finishing, yeah, that series related to Chara Dasha. In the next episodes, in future, obviously, we'll be talking about different horoscopes. We'll be analyzing horoscopes as per Chara Dasha or Manduk Dasha. In future, we'll learn also how to apply Navamsha Dasha to a particular horoscope. Okay, so these are future plans. Okay, I hope it was helpful. Have a good, peaceful night. God bless and take care.